Hello, my divine kings and queens. Happy New Year. I hope you all are doing well. I'm back to do another message, and today God wants you to know that even though your enemies are relentless, He wants you to know that He's still your Redeemer, and He is sending in positive reinforcements to ensure that you are well protected on your journey going into this new season. For a lot of you, He is saying that He is going to handle everything that you've ever been worried about. Whatever it is that you feel at the end of the day that you didn't have a grip on or a handle on, or whatever it is that you felt like people got away with, God is saying that the day of reckoning is here. And that a lot of people are going to fall in the same ditches and holes that they expected you to fall into. God allowed these people to get just far enough to think that whatever it is that they was working, or whatever outcome they expected for your life was going to happen. And what happened is now these people are seeing that no amount of evil that they practice on you, because God said it was unnecessary evil. Unnecessary acts of, like I said, cruelty, abandonment, manipulation, being deceptive, mocking you, joking you, plotting against you. There were a lot of conversations that was had on you. There was about you. There was a lot of conversations going on, and it wasn't in a good way. Conversations as to how people can take from you. Conversation as to how it is that you've been able to achieve or obtain what it is that you have in your life currently, because these people know what they was doing behind the scenes. See, what happened is God covered you. This is what you will never be able to understand. There were some things that God even kept hidden from you until it was the right time. He said He didn't want anyone to sabotage this. There were still people that was in your energy, that was around you, of whom you thought that you can trust, and you couldn't. And see, these people were relentless. They still are to this day, because they can't seem to fathom how it is that someone that they worked so much evil against. I'm talking about evil where they went to several practitioners. This wasn't just one. They went to several people trying to work things up on you, because these people saw in the spiritual what you were already predestined to have. And see, a lot of the times we sit back and we think, well, why is life so hard for us? You know, God promised me this and He didn't deliver, so I don't believe in God no more. You don't even understand the level of evil that you was going up against. So if you have ever said that and given up your hope and faith in God, I suggest you take that back and you get down on your knees and you pray and you thank Him for enabling you to make it through and make it to this season. Because it's because of Him, and because of what He saw, and because of how He protected you, who He sent into your life to bring you the answers, to give you clarity. Don't just say, oh, you know, Victoria, you was helping me. It wasn't just me. I was able to help you because I was going through it myself as well. And there were certain things that He was leading me to say. You never understand how things can be spiritually connected until when you sit back and you make it through the fire and you make it through that warfare. You sit back and you reflect on it. You say, you know what? That was nothing but short of a miracle. That was nobody but God who could have done that. His grace and His mercy strengthened me, got me to this point of my life. See, we sit back and we don't even understand how evil these people were. They were relentless. God had to hide you. And in Him hiding you, there was a lot of people who conspired against you. There were a lot of people who didn't think you was going to make it through. God says, sit, just let it happen. Let them think what they're going to think, because I have a master plan. And when it's time, they going to see the moves that I was making behind the scenes. They're going to see that what they thought was going to happen, everything that they worked against you, was in vain. God had to hide you. He had to really hide you. So there were a lot of people who thought certain things about you. There were a lot of people who were sitting back and thought that He gave up on you. But God said, you're a work in progress. He didn't give up on you. He's the author of your life, and He's just beginning to write your story. He is just beginning to allow things to unfold in your life. You know, you have the beginning of the story, you have the middle, and then you have the end. You know what I'm saying? You have the climax. You go through conflict, you have that climax, and then you have the resolution. There are certain phases that you went through in your life. Every phase prepares you for where you are today. You get me what I'm saying? You went through the conflict. You learned things as you was going through these upheavals in your life. You learned things as you was battling and going up against this evil, just how strong you are. You get me what I'm saying? This truly built you up in a way that at the end of the day, even you surprise God with how you're able to handle things. See, it used to be he was sitting behind and letting you know what moves to play. There were some of you that went through so much, you learned it so quickly. You started making moves. And as God started sitting back and saying, okay, you're making the right moves, you're making the right choices, he started entrusting you with more responsibility. I'm saying something. He started entrusting you and letting you know. He started revealing names to you now because he knew you was in a position to handle it. And as you sat back, you was like, wow, my own family, God? Really? My own family? Are you serious? Wow, I thought this person was a friend. They played it well. Wow, God, I thought this person loves me. God say, you got to start taking things at face value so that you can be protected out here in this world, because evil truly do exist in people. And let me tell you something, that spirit can jump off of people. You keep listen, the spirit of envy, the spirit of jealousy, it can lead people to do some crazy things. Just like in the Bible, it led a brother to kill another brother. It led brothers to conspire against a brother. Every situation that was in the Bible where people went up against people, two of which I just spoke to you just now, Cain and Abel in the story of Joseph, that was family. That was brothers. See, God needed to open up your eyes. Even though, like I say, he said the Calvary is here. The Calvary is here. The positive reinforcements I'm sending into your life because I need you protected. And what I say goes at the end of the day. You are going to have the last say so. You are going to have the last laugh against all these people who conspired against you, who practiced acts of unnecessary evil. They're about to see that it was done in vain. They're about to see it was done in vain. And when I tell you that God say the day of reckoning is here and it is coming, oh my God, in this season, you about to see everybody get back tenfold what it is that they sent your way. Because you're not out here in the mindset of saying, well, if I can't, you know what I'm saying, join a person, I'm going to beat them. I'm going to make sure that they don't step into this. Well, if I don't like this person, I don't want them to have this in their life. I don't want them to have finances, God. I don't want them to have love. I don't want them to have this. So God had to, at the end of the day, you was going through a period, and you know how I always tell y'all, I take from a movie, I take from somewhere. I'm taking from this show, The Undercover Boss, right? For those of you who have seen that show. You know, they take CEOs that run the organization or own the organization in some type of capacity. They're of a higher level within the organization or within the company of leadership, right? And so these people come in, and what they do is they go in undercover and they work and they start from the bottom, like entry-level roles that they go into just to see how people are actually running the business, how the training is going, the business operations, if it's flowing, what's going on, what can they improve on. As they send these undercover bosses in, you know, they have the people who go in and train them and show them what they do and how they work certain things. There are some people who, at the end of the day, they take certain people who were hard workers, who showed themselves, who showed their loyalty, didn't play around, didn't mess around. And they also check certain people. They end up blessing these people, right? They end up giving them some type of monetary value or some type of higher role within the organization. Then you have those who are let go, because they showed that they don't take it serious, or they showed their disloyalty. You get what I'm saying? I think in one episode, one person told them, man, I'm just working this job because next week I got another job. Then they got fired. They said, oh, but I don't have a job. They said, well, what happened when you told me that? Oh, well, they said something happened and they discontinued the role, or they paused the role. I need my job. When I tell you, sorry about that. I had to get Jade right. But what happened is God had to pretty much send you in. He had to tell you at the end of the day, he wants you to lay low. And so God had to really hide who you truly were. He had to hide your value. You'll never understand why he did that, because you felt like, had people known who you were, maybe you wouldn't have gone through everything that you went through. But see, it's the complete opposite. There were people who knew who you were, and they were doing things to ensure that you wouldn't step into what it is that he had for you. And so when you're going through this period, this undercover season of your life, right, you uncovered things about people that you never thought at the end of the day you would ever, things that you found out about people. It just really truly shocks you. And what you found out was family wasn't family. It's just a word. Anyone can possess that spirit of envy and jealousy, which will lead them to do certain things that can cause you harm in your life. And it caused you delays. It caused you blockages. We ain't in denial no more in this season. We doing a recap, but we ain't in denial. And seeing you was going through this undercover season of your life, you found out family, that's just a word. I mean, F-A-M-I-L-Y, I mean, that's just a word. I could spell it. I mean, it don't truly mean anything because I could spell it, because I could write it down on a piece of paper, because I could go ahead and find out my ancestral roots and all this stuff and figure out I was connected to this person. I mean, we connected. But did they have my best interests at heart? Were they loyal to me? No, they brought you harm. They wanted you to fail. They did not want you to step into what it is that God had for you. There are a lot of you, yes, this is your confirmation. Oh, confirmation. This is your confirmation. There are a lot of things that should have already had happened in your life at this point. Not saying that it's not going to happen, but it should have already happened. These people were fighting relentlessly, going to people relentlessly when they wasn't seeing things working in your life, fighting relentlessly to try to have access to you, to figure out what was working and what was going on. I'm telling you, God is letting you know right now, these people know that you know, but it's not going to stop them from fighting against you. They just know that you know, so they don't have to fake it anymore. They're not going to fake, trying to fake like they love you, fake like they support you, fake like they want to be a part of your life anymore. But see, what's happening is you uncover certain things about family. You uncover certain things about friends who were never your friends. You uncover things about lovers who were secret enemies and foes and had a hidden agendas towards you. Do you understand what I'm saying? All because God hid you in plain sight. He said, I'm going to hide you, and I want you to see how these people treat you when they think of you or perceive you a certain type of way, or think that you're not going to have this. Because when I play that power move, a lot of people are going to realize then who you truly were, and it's going to be too late at that point. The ones who showed their loyalty day in and day out, these are the people who you keep in your life as you went through that undercover season. The people who showed you who they truly are. It ain't no more, oh, well, they going to change now that they know they're going to change this. They should have shown then who they were, and they did. So now you have to take that at face value. But he is letting you know that at the end of the day, you are a work in progress. He is not through with you. He is not through writing out your story. There's so many things that he has in store for you that he wants you to step into. And a lot of people are going to realize how that was the worst or biggest mistake of their life that they could have made going up against you, because, see, they kept working it and kept working it and kept going against you. They kept letting that spirit use them to go against you, to be evil to you, to be cruel to you. And sat back to see if you was going to fall in the same ditches that they dug for you. And God said, no, they going to fall in them. Because the day of reckoning is here. And I'm going down the list. And they're going to realize that I wasn't playing with you. And they're going to realize everybody has lessons to learn in this. I feel like God allowed you to be the catalyst in a lot of people's lives, to show people how you treat people. You treat people how you want to be treated. I don't care what you feel inside of you. I don't care what you think about a person. If a person didn't go up against you, you don't go up against another person. If a person show you love, you show them love. If a person don't possess this spirit of envy and jealousy, and they treat you with kindness, they treat you with respect, that's what you give back to a person. A lot of people are going to realize that when you move with that evil in you, when you move wrong, there's certain consequences and repercussions that follow after that. These people ain't going to be able to deal with it. And a lot of them, you're going to have to pray for them and pray that they make it through. Because some might not. And I say that with all due respect to anyone who come across this message. You don't know. God say you don't know the evil that they was. Baby, when you have a certain channel, you have one channel, right? A channel that at the end of the day, that channel, there's certain things that can cipher through and get through that channel. That's one channel. When you got 4, 5, 6 different of them hitting you all at once, and you didn't have the protection, and you didn't have God walking and on your side, you would not be here because it was too much. And they opened up a doorway that now they don't know how to close. So God say they're going to have to deal with their own demons. They're going to have to deal with their own demons as I progress and move you up and rise you to the top. Because you did what I told you to do. They were relentless, but I'm your redeemer. And that's what they didn't expect. They thought they knew you, but they did not know. There were so many people who counted you out. It's almost as if you were trying to prove something to these people, prove that you weren't who they said you were. There are a lot of people who was throwing dirt on your name just because they wanted to. It's not because they thought you this or knew this or had the facts. Some people just wanted to jump on the bandwagon and throw dirt on your name because at the end of the day, you were going through a certain period in a season in your life where God was really trying to prep you and prepare you to handle evil, to handle everything that was going to come your way on a greater level. So in every season, in every phase, there was a certain level of evil that you had to go up against, right? And for every level, he showed you what you had to do to maneuver and get through it. So now that as you're coming to this stage in this season of your life, there's nothing that you have to worry about. But at the end of the day, you still have to fight. But understand that you have support. Understand that God is not going to allow the enemy to have their way with you. Understand that evil doesn't prevail against what's good, against what's righteous. It's not saying that you did everything right, but what it is saying is that when God searched your heart, the evil that was practiced against you was something that you would have never practiced against another man, against another woman, against a fellow sister, against a fellow brother. And because it was done to you, you're about to get back everything that the enemy wanted you to lose, everything that they thought they took from you, everything that they thought they deprived you of. You're about to get it back tenfold in this season. They wanted so bad for you not to step into a certain level of your life in love. They're about to see you get that. I told you God was preparing this table for you in the presence of your enemies because your enemies was doing too much, trying to shatter you, trying to shatter your spirit, your soul, my God. The evil that was on these people because of the purpose that you have in the kingdom of God. These people wanted to shut you up. Baby, these people did not want people to look at you in a certain way. They wanted you to be looked at as scum, as beneath their feet, as nothing. And for those of you who are inspiring people, there are a lot of people who sit back in your community. There are some people who sit back in your family. Not everybody was on board with this evil that was done against you. But see, there were people who weren't weak enough, weren't strong. They weren't strong enough to stand up and stick up for you. Even though you may never speak to these people again, baby, you've done something towards these people. Like I said, you served as a catalyst. There was a certain special purpose that God had for you. And it was that every person that you encountered, be it good or be it bad, you changed these people's lives in some type of capacity to either learn certain lessons, learn certain things about themselves, change certain things about themselves, allowing people to see the bigger picture, allowing them, for some, to embark on their own journey, their own spiritual journey, and transforming themselves for the better. Whatever the case may be, a lot of people learned a very valuable lesson in going up against you, but in also being loyal to you, because you're about to be a blessing to these people. God said you're about to be a blessing to the family that was loyal to you. You're about to be a blessing to the friends who was loyal to you. You're about to be a blessing to the lovers who was loyal to you. Just like in that Undercover Boss. When you were finally revealed, when these people were finally revealed, everybody was shocked. And for those who know they did wrong, oh boy, they was scared to have a one-on-one with that person because it was like, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my job. Because of what they said and because of what they did. But God said, listen, let me tell you something, baby. You are breaking generational curses. You already have. And you have more work to do. God says that their day of reckoning is here. God says that even though your enemies were relentless, baby, even though they tried to block you, they couldn't stop you. Even though they tried to cause delays in your life, you're still pushing forward. Even though they didn't want to see you step into these blessings, you about to step into them anyway. God said, even though they're relentless, I'm your redeemer. Sit back and watch me work. Sit back and watch me work. Mark my words, you will have the last laugh. You will have the last say-so in this situation, or whatever situation that you went through. And these people are going to sit back and watch that those acts of unnecessary evil that they practiced was done in vain, because it didn't touch you, and it didn't stop you, and it never will. And until next time, I want you to stay prayed up and be blessed. Hold your head up high. Never let nobody see you sweat. I mean, ain't nobody gonna see you sweating this season, baby. You ain't gonna have to worry about that, because you're gonna be walking tall and holding your head up high and stepping into everything that God has for you. Do you hear me what I'm saying? Continue to reach one, teach one, bring others to the JC gang. We ride together, we slide together. JC gang for life. You already know I'm your sister. I come with that real, never that fake. I keep it 100 with you. I keep it a buck with you. And until next time, stay prayed up and be blessed. I love you.